If you thought this show was about literal bunny girls, boy, be prepared to be bamboozled by the most misleading title that you might have ever come across.
A lot of bees and a bup in that intro. I like it. Hey guys, we missed our Monday deadline. It's been a week. It's been quite a week.
A week and a half.
Oy, oy, oy. But, and yeah, I know you guys don't care. I'm going to tell you, we came right back to the closet one more time because we've got some phenomenal news. We managed to sell our home and buy a different home. And we're very excited about that. So come October, we're going to be moving and it's going to be great.
Yeah, and like we said, we're back here because it's way too much work to take our microphones in and out of our storage bin. And just bear with us. We're excited in our new home. We're going to have an official padded soundproof room in our new basement.
Yeah, it'll be
so
very
excited.
Nice. Clean slate. We can do whatever we want. That is great. And frankly, getting a house ready to be shown, a little stressful, but the issue is we've packed everything away and it feels like we're moving now, but we've got a whole month of living like we don't.
Squalor.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
And just weird bamboozled, if I'll use it again.
Nice.
I just feel stressed coming home like I can't make a mess.
But listen, we don't want to, we're not troubling you with that. Today we're talking about, if you didn't figure it out with the intro, we're talking Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, which the cover shows our girl Mai in a bunny costume, and I'd heard of her being best girl back in, this was a 2018 show, so a little bit back there.
And then we also watched today, because we wanted to make it all full circle here, we just literally watched the movie that follows right after it, called Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl. Yes. So there is a movie on top of the show.
Yes, which is good in the way of, so show, 13 episodes, movie, just basically 3 episodes tied together or whatever. But it's cool. It's right after the events of the show, so you don't technically need to watch the movie, but it does shed light.
And I don't even think you really, do you need to watch the show to watch the movie? Maybe because you got to get the premise of the adolescent syndrome.
Yeah, nice transition. Let's talk about the premise of this show. So it's another show that's dealing kind of with the hardships of growing up, going through puberty. In this case, it is shown as a syndrome and aptly named Puberty Syndrome. And it's just basically a rare mythological type deal that is happening. Not everyone believes it. Heck, no one does except for the people that it happens to. And basically what puberty syndrome is something that affects teenagers, and it's just a supernatural, weird occurrence that has something to do with a struggle that's going on in their life. You know, we're instantly seen from episode 1, he's got these scars across his chest. Anyways, we're going to kind of go through the show. This isn't like a radar, but it also isn't like a watch with that. Well, I don't know what it is.
We just enjoy the show so much that we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Which I love how in the synopsis, and they talk about in the show, that they call this thing rare. Yet our main character, Sakuta, cannot find a girl in his life who is not dealing with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not that rare.
And he gets a heck of a harem going around him. All these characters and their chicks. But the show's not deep. There's some that are a lot more symbolic. This is pretty much right in your face. No one's claiming that this is some masterpiece. It's just a fun little show. We like slices of life. This has got a little bit of the romance element. Some people complain that there's not enough payoff at the end, but we'll talk about that. So, yeah, it's just basically what's great is the main girl here, our favorite, our bunny girl, Mai, she is episode 1, and she's dealing with the syndrome in the way of she is a child actress. She's grown up in the spotlight. Everyone knows her. For some reason or another, our boy, Sakuta, is in the library and just looks over, and there's some long-legged girl dressed in a bunny costume walking around just kind of getting in people's faces, and they're not noticing her. Odd. that you can fall in love with a character so quickly. Am I right? No, she's all right.
She's cute. I like her deadpan-ness.
The dialogue in this show is phenomenal. I think it's very quippy. They're really just at each other. They're witty. Again, the thing is, and I read a couple reviews of people's thoughts on the show, and a lot of people are like, oh, the dialogue sparse. This show doesn't even need to really exist.
A lot of negative reviews.
It's the anime, folks.
It makes me feel like we like crappy anime.
No,
we are easily
this is a good
pleased.
show, and it was well known. And it's ranked 147 on my anime list. It's a fine show. It's just, man, you get some people that are like, I don't even know why this show exists. Dude, why does any show exist? They're all just stories. Just if you don't like it, skedaddle.
Move on to the next one.
You dork. No offense to any dorks out there, including myself. Yeah. So he's in high school, sees this bunny girl. Come to find out, no one notices her anymore. Well, this is how the heck can that be? She's widely known, all this stuff. So the first couple episodes is an adventure of just trying to make sure that she's not forgotten. And it seems that sleep is the catalyst to forgetting about her, because you'll notice, well, most people don't see her. Some people from school still notice her and all this stuff. And then it finally comes down to this little crescendo of our main character staying up for days on end. He's still got to take his tests. He's ruining his life for this girl. Boys, they'll do whatever they got to do for a pretty girl. It's insane the power you guys hold. Anywho. So he goes on this little bender of just, energy drink. He's
well,
staying
and he's
up.
writing in his notebook.
Don't forget about her. This is what happened. Yeah, go. You can go.
Yeah, so he's writing in his notebook details about how he met her and what's happening and her name. And our girl, Mai, she ends up coming over because she sees that he's not sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So she's deducing what's going on and why people are forgetting about her.
Yeah.
And she ends up slipping him sleeping potion. What? There's no magic
Sleeping
in this
potions.
world. Sleeping drugs. So he go night-night. He wake up. Can't remember.
You skip so much stuff. I'm not saying we got to go into every detail, but this happens every time we're talking about this.
What? What do you want to remember?
Also
what do you want to
this
explain?
poor girl, she can't even eat without this kid because she tries to, get some food through people, and as she's invisible, and then she's quick-witted. She sees that he's trying not to sleep. She goes over there to quote-unquote tutor him.
Yeah, because he's not doing too hot.
And it's just this moment of like, she knows that what he's doing, he's still trying to act like, no, it's fine. I'm just crunching for a test. And so she offers to help. And then
help means you're going to sleep.
Yeah. So then she drugs him.
Yeah.
Doesn't add that much more, but I don't know. I just feel like you're
he just likes usurping me.
No, you cut so quick to the meat and potatoes that no one even looked at the veggies.
No one likes veggies anyway.
Green beans.
Only you like green beans.
Yeah.
No, I like green beans too. Tempura green beans.
The best.
Yum.
Oh, where do we get those that we love every day? Is that Big Bowl? No.
Yeah, Big Bowl.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So good.
Anything
and
fried.
now you can get them at the store, people. I think they're Bird Eye.
That's
brand.
What it was. There was a brand that we got at Jewel, and it's pretty expensive, but it's a good treat. You just fried green beans.
So good.
Get
you get some
town.
We don't have any and it doesn't come with it, but you get a nice sauce. It's good.
Sauce. And that's the thing. That's the thing too is, I will say about the green beans, then we'll be over the green beans, is it's an awful for you fried version, but it's still green at the center, so you can feel okay about eating it.
Until your stomach hurts because you've eaten a whole bag.
Yeah, it does actually end up hurting because we eat so much.
Yeah.
I digress. So that's our first dilemma in the show.
Yeah, he forgets about the woman he's trying to remember and help.
Yep. And then here's the thing. He wakes up and he looks in his notebook. Gone. Doesn't even remember her, this poor kid.
Well, and it's interesting because when they show the notebook open and he's reading it, the spots that have her name are blurred out. So they're there. He just can't read it. It was so weird.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think it's just anytime we go back to a slice of life after all these action things, I enjoy them thoroughly because it's like, finally, it's just like, it's kind of a chill mood. eventually I'm going to get kicked in the gut by something. I know they're always going to pull some heartstrings with this whole thing, but
I'm always looking for a little bit more chill of a slice of life. I definitely had to think. When they start talking about the science-y things, and in the movie they talk about like future and past and
string
present
theory
and
all that.
listen, I'm not smart. I've said it before, I'm blonde. There's not many brain cells left living up here on top of this.
Get out of town.
On top of these shoulders. So I just want cut and dry, black and white. I'm not looking to think when I'm watching anime.
Well, I've got a show for you. SpongeBob SquarePants.
No.
The slice of life about a middle-aged man working his way. Anyways, this show, yes, I think they do throw in some unnecessary stuff. Like the whole science bit with her, it's like Schrodinger's cat. And I think it's for the high school people to go, oh, I know that. Oh, nice. I don't think it's for us
So it's like Big Bang Theory for teenagers.
Oh my gosh, Big Bang Theory. Listen, people are allowed to like that show, but by golly, should they not like that show? I can't handle it. Sorry, I was pinching my nose. I got even more nasally there for a second. I was pinching my nose. It wasn't just... Anyways. But it's a cute moment. This whole thing ends up getting resolved because he realizes that, no one is basically... Because of her life, no one at school actually notices her because she's so...
And she doesn't have any friends. Because she was a child actress, she kind of came into school late. She never really found a friend group, so she's friendless at school.
And she matured too quickly in that business, too.
Yeah. So her existence was really going, sure, like she's noticed because she's famous, but her existence on a personal level really... was not being noticed.
So how do you fix it as a high school boy? Well, you run out of... I think he was still... No, he got one good night of sleep. He runs out of his classroom, he goes outside, and then it's pretty cute. He goes out and he's just screaming in the field that he loves her. And then she comes out and you're like, oh, there she is. What a moment. And then she slaps him right in the face. Anime girls are good at slapping kids. It's not bad. So yeah, I mean, and then from there, it's just basically... The show is issues with other girls in his life, and then things are happening. Sometimes they're double. Like the next one, I think, does it go right into his sister, or does it go into the one that forces him?
I think the next one is the freshman girl, the first year, who... Her situation is this guy wants to date her. He's asking her out and she's not really sure how to say no.
Yeah.
And then her life ends up getting tangled with our main dude, Sakuta. And
Is it Sakuta? Oh, I think I was calling him... I'm not even going to say his name anymore. I'm just going to say the main dude. Yeah, the show turns into Groundhog's Day. It's been done before, basically. He just starts repeating the same day over and over and over. And you're like, what is going on? Well, clearly there's something's happening that hasn't been resolved. You need to find someone
who is different every day. So, because every day the pattern is the same in the next 1 or 2 episodes as he's figuring out this next person's adolescent syndrome, which... happen to all be girls. No boys except him have this syndrome happening. Yeah. But he finds out that this one girl in his day-to-day routine is acting differently. Mm-hmm. She's the anomaly. So he figures out that she...
Yeah, Koga.
Yes, is...
the short-haired girl. And so basically she's like, oh, to get me out of this, you need to pretend to be my boyfriend. And this is where Mai started to take form as like, I very much like her as a character. You were a little bit harder of a sell, I think.
Oh, no, I liked her.
But she is just so mature that she's like, yeah, whatever, just pretend to date her. It's like, she's so easygoing and she's so trusting of him that it's like, first off, does not happen in high school. There's not this much trust in a relationship because Becky just talked to Ryan, but Ryan was smiling when he was talking to such drama. Ooh, did you go to the football game? High school sucked.
Yeah.
It could be biased because I don't know.
I think your high school experience was better than mine, though.
We're not getting into that again, okay? Don't make my heart sink, please. But, so Sakuta, it's just, yeah, they end up figuring it out in the way of what's the resolve of that one?
I think he just has to, she has to take control of her own destiny and stand up to this guy who is kind of a player. He's already got a girlfriend at a different school, and she's just too nervous, I think, because he's a upperclassman and she's a freshman. So I think the way she changes that destiny is she has to stand up for herself and say no, that she doesn't want to go out with him.
Yeah. What an interesting part of this section was when at the train platform, because word started getting around that they were sleeping together all the time or something, like now that they're dating or whatever. And he's like on the platform, he goes, nope, not possible because I'm a virgin. And he just turns it on this bully really quick. And
the guy went to go punch him or something, and Sakuta ended up like getting a hit on him, and he fell down, and I think he put his shoe in his face, and he was like, you better wash your face because I stepped in dog poo.
Yeah, but then the rumor started going around that he had poo on his face. That's all it takes at high school. A little poop on a shoe, and that's it. So, yeah, that was an okay little portion of it. Again, this is 13 episodes, so it's like each little story is only 2-3 episodes. It's not too bad. I like this because I'm a sucker for Groundhog Day. I don't know. It's an easy plot device for me. I like when you get to see the same day. I don't know. Whatever. Bill Murray's the man. After that, I think
it's his friend that might be next. Futaba, the nerdy girl who's always helping him.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and she ends up turning into a bad girl because basically she splits into two people. One is more of a
normal
socialite. Out there taking some naughty pictures of herself and all that stuff, and then the other one's just the science dork that she normally is. That one, not too many flashy moments from that. Just, I think the one was like that cliffhanger where they're like, wait a minute, she sent pictures like these to the boys, and it's like, what?
Well, no, it was like what I would assume is not like a Facebook or a MySpace, but like a profile, or what's that thing that people blog on a lot?
Tumblr?
Maybe something like that, where you can just upload pictures. And I think she had an anonymous account, but the one girl who was the annoying girlfriend of Sakuta's best friend, Yuma, she ends up confronting him, and which, by the way, Yuma, ditch that a-hole of a girlfriend.
Seriously.
Because she is the most annoying and rude character in the whole show.
She's just a snotty little brat.
Yeah. Even after everything that Mai said, after he confessed her love and she said, hey, that rumor that's going around about who's going to be my boyfriend, he didn't hurt people and send them to the hospital. So stop. That didn't change her mind at all. She was still annoying.
Yeah.
The most annoying bit of the story.
He's a popular kid. He's going to go with the snotty, popular girl. It happens, like Mean Girls.
I guess. Just ditch your girlfriend and go with Futaba.
They need a Mean Girls anime, am I right? After that, then it is, you find out Mai has a sister, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that was interesting. And that was you can compare this show to a bunch of stuff. And I think that's where you can have a gripe with this. It's a story that's been told. Each little section's already been told, but it's anime. You can enjoy it, whatever. It's 2 episodes. That's always I like that that's always my thing. It's like, if you don't like it, whatever. But I guess that is what it is. You don't have to sit there and just get on a pedestal and hate something, I suppose. Just whatever, move on, go to the next show. We're talking about this one, all right? So this is a Freaky Friday kind of deal where the sisters swap bodies. It's very interesting. The relationship continues to get tested because she is just super patient. She's like, whatever, go hang with my sister, get that. But both sisters are being mean to each other. Well, it's a stepsister, I guess we should say.
Yes.
Who always feels...
Well, half-sister.
Half-sister, that's what I mean. And basically just this whole thing stems from her feeling inadequate when compared to her very popular sister. Who wouldn't? She's in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this section, it was all right.
Yeah, it was okay.
Body swap, I was over it. And throughout the whole show, we've got a sister who dresses as a panda who doesn't like to go out. That's the one, and I hate this dynamic. I absolutely hate it. Sister's in the bed is, oh, don't you want to snuggle with me, older brother? And it's like, stop with that fetish thing. It's not cool. It's disgusting.
That's something we'll never be down on.
Yeah, I'm just not into it. Anyways, just get out of here, you weird panda girl. She's cute, but just some of the stuff she says.
I love her name because Kaede is a character from Inuyasha.
I think it's just Kaede for her.
Oh, they say in the show Kaede, I think.
I wasn't really listening. I was just reading. So in the whole show, she's speaking in third person, and you're like, what is wrong with this chick? Well, turns out she actually wasn't herself.
Thing. Yeah, she was bullied when she was younger in what I would assume like middle school. Yeah. I don't really know how old she is, but bullied. People, like, they showed on the screen, like, things they would say to her, like, kill yourself or die and stuff. So she ends up waking up. You find out later as the show's progressing, because the arc of Kaede is the whole end of basically the end of the series.
Yeah.
And so you get a lot more story developing around her and her brother's situation, kind of how they develop together, their relationship.
You get her syndrome sprinkled throughout, because, I mean, you see in the first couple episodes, as she was getting bullied online, every time someone would say something mean, it, like, physically cut her body. It was pretty weird, and then that caused her mom, like, then she wasn't acting the same. She almost turned into a different person, which then caused her mom to have a breakdown, which then caused the parents to leave, and then now only the older brother and Kaede are living there and all this stuff. But it's just the whole point of that whole thing is basically just she needs to go out there by herself. She needs to start doing these things to put herself out there again. She eventually does, but the problem is, and this is a point of contention with our main character, is he's now grown to love this girl who is his sister, but then kind of isn't at the same time, who had all these goals or whatever, and grew to just love her brother because she was always at home, and apparently become a weirdo who is a little too into her brother. But then it's almost a loophole because it wasn't technically her, because then it was, I don't like it. Anywho, they end up going to the zoo and all this stuff. I don't know. At this point, I was just ready for it to be done. And
well, she ends up making a checklist of things she wants to do by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Which on the list was to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
So the first step she's got to do is leave the apartment, which she hasn't done in who knows how long. I can't tell and gauge, maybe because I haven't paid attention enough to cues in the show, because obviously we watch it subbed. So sometimes you might miss out on details because you're reading, but I can't figure out how long she was in the apartment for, because I think the show spans, after watching the movie, it was 6 months.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or a year or something. And I was saying to myself, how long? I feel like he got attached to his sister's personality way too short amount of time if it's been 6 months.
Yeah.
It was just that was the one thing I'd like to rewatch the show to figure out the timeline.
And this all started very much testing the relationship. Kind of as the show was going on, there's these little things testing. And while she was still, there was such good moments of, like, you don't really see Mai ever, like, saying much about her feelings towards him, but he's like this masochist who's always quick-witted and just saying, like, a couple lewd things or this and that, and she'll stomp on his foot or pinch his cheek, and he loves it. So you see that throughout, and then just by the end of the show, he gets devastated by hitting her goal. Kaede ends up going and reverting back to her old self, so the family's going to start getting back together and all that good stuff, which is great. But then he feels like he's lost the one that he just grew so attached to, so he starts breaking down, which then is causing some problems between him and our bunny girl, and all this stuff, and it just leads to a crescendo at the end. I'm going to use that word again, I guess. And am I even using that right? The crescendo thing?
Yeah.
Like the boom, this is like it at the end, right?
Mm-hmm. A climax?
In this case, more of a climax than a crescendo, sure. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. And so he goes out there and he meets up with this girl and he wants everything to be okay. And right at the end, it's snowing, perfect scene, looking down on this, all the scenery. And you know exactly what Danielle wants. Here comes the kiss.
That payoff, baby.
Here it comes. And no, she pinches his cheek. I thought it was great. I thought that was a very good ending.
I was disappointed with the ending because I'm always looking for that, Domon and Rain payoff. That's probably the best thing I've ever seen in any anime so far. Hit me up if you have a better one.
Did they?
Well, Say I Love You was pretty good too.
Yeah, but did Domon and Rain kiss ever?
Yeah.
No, just in the credits, I think. Did they? I don't think they actually kiss in the show. They just profess their love.
See, but it was so fiery and passionate, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
And he embraces her and she's naked coming out of the Devil Gundam. And
True, but
they're
then he
wrapped
wraps
up
her
in
up.
each other. Yeah, but it's fine. I'm fine with it. Don't ruin this. I got it playing in my mind's eye right now. I'm good. No, you're right. I don't think they do kiss. But anyway.
Yeah.
But what I liked about Sakuta and Mai is that's their relationship is she's like that. She's not going to give him that payout yet. And it's cute. Sure, was I disappointed? Yes. But does it go in line with their relationship? Yes.
It's them to the T. So we watched that and we thought, you know what, this is great. That was a nice little pocket of a show. We just got through it in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Just here and there as we've been prepping stuff around the house and all that.
Yeah, there's only 13 episodes, so.
Another great. I am all in on these shows that are 13 episodes. I like the longer ones too, but man, nothing beats the 13 episode thing that's been going on per season.
And then doing research, I found out there was a movie. So I said, we can't, because we wanted to record this earlier in the week. And I said, I'd really like to watch the movie just to really round it out. So.
And round it out we did. And this is where, if you've seen the show and not the movie, give it a pause, go watch it. It's an hour and a half. Find it somewhere. I can't tell you where, but it picks up right after the show. Of course, after just finishing the show, it seems like it just went straight together and we didn't miss a beat. And this brings in a character, Shoko.
Which we did see in the episodes.
Absolutely. She was this purple-haired girl who ended up helping him when he was at his very low, when his mom moved away and all this stuff. He was on the beach and she came up, comforted him. This is the first love of his life. And it's the same in reverse. She loved him and whatever. But what's weird is in the show, she's very mysterious. This movie clears up a lot about her because you don't know anything, even after the show is done. And she ends up coming back as this younger girl with a cat. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought that was Love is Life. Well, she's tiny now, and that's not going to work.
I love it. She's young.
Yeah, she's
young and tiny.
Well, yeah, she's young
a little cutie.
She's cute. She just comes over because he took in a stray cat for her while she waits to ask her parents for the cat and all this stuff. And it never gets resolved. And you're like, what is going on? Blah, blah, blah. And later on, she shows up as old. But it's always a confusing thing. And thank you for the movie, okay? So it centers around her. And right away, we kind of understand exactly why she hesitated to ask her parents for the cat, because oddly enough, they would have said yes, which doesn't seem like a problem to most of us. But it's a problem for a girl who has a heart disease and limited time to live. The movie starts with actually her in a class, and the teacher's like, I want you to write down what you want to do in the future.
And that was a red flag for me.
Yeah, devastating. And you got a character who can't fill it out. Well, clearly something's wrong. In this case, heart disease. Yeah,
she's got an illness that they can't figure out. And I'm not really sure where to go from there because I jump way too far ahead with my details.
No,
so
you're
I'm not
fine.
really sure.
You know what? Set the pace. Don't let me interrupt.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Let me really try and think about this.
From there,
her older self is starting to be in this time period with all of the characters that we've met already and followed through the show is living in the same time period, the young version of Shoto and the old one.
Yes, which it's a device used constantly in the show. That's my one nag. It's like, get a new thing. Stop putting two of someone in the same place. Anyways, she shows up at the apartment. They're all just chilling in his apartment, Sakuta's apartment. And then she shows up and she's like, hey, it's me. And Mai already has this like jealousy because she knows exactly who that is and knows the exact history of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But is mature enough to, she's like, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Because she wants to stay there for the foreseeable future.
Well, yeah, she comes in. She's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to stay here because while I'm older, because she knows it. She doesn't let on that the younger one is still in the same existence as her at the same exact time, but she comes and she says, I need to stay here for the foreseeable future. Mai's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
You can stay at my apartment. And she does not want to do that. She wants to be with our boy.
I'm with Mai all the way here, okay?
Oh, yeah. Me too. This movie was so annoying.
Yeah, it had its annoying moments for sure. And you're just like, okay, I don't want to care about this character. And I won't ever fully care about this character. Spoiler alert. She's cool. They tug at your heartstrings with this heart disease thing, and I don't want to sound callous, but it's kind of like, and I'm not comparing, it's a cartoon girl, so I don't mind comparing it, but it's like Marley and Me. Okay. Everyone was telling me, oh my God, it's so sad, which by the way, spoiler, Marley and Me, the dog dies. Okay. Here's the deal with that movie. That dog is a monster.
It's a menace.
Okay. The worst dog on the human planet. Well, yeah. I don't know why I say human planet. On the planet. There we are. And I was so annoyed the whole movie. It's like, this dog's not trained. It's an awful dog. I don't care how funny these scenarios are. This sucks. Who would want to own this dog? Get rid of it. Go sell it to someone. Not get rid of it in that way, guys. I'm not that crazy. But the dog ends up dying in that movie, and I'm like, sad, but I'm not going to cry because holy cow, the amount of time in the day that these guys have now because they don't have to clean up. You name it around the house, it was dragging. I don't remember the details, but I like a clean house, and that movie was not doing it for me. Take that how you will. You can hate me now, think I'm callous. I love dogs, but not Marley. Okay.
And definitely not this girl.
Yeah. So in this, it's like they put in the plot devices to get you to care about her. And it's sad. There's definitely sad moments. But I am all team Mai. And frankly, I'm not going to switch.
And I think what turned me off was not only Shoko's needing to like put herself in Sakura's life, like really force her into there. But also Sakura's feeling that he's like Harry Potter. He's got a saving people thing.
Yeah, he truly does.
And it's actually really annoying. And I get it. She's a little girl because he's starting to visit her present self in the hospital. That's when we find out, oh, well, he went to drop his sister off for a routine checkup at the hospital. And that's when he finds out. He runs into the present day younger Shoko and finds out, oh, I have a heart disease, sees the sheet of paper with her goals on it that she was supposed to fill out for school. And then they're starting to build that emotional connection with the audience and the characters.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's terrible. I just really hate how I'm just going to spoil it right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I really don't like he feels like he has to put himself in the situation to die. Spoiler, the reason why she lives in the future and is on the beach because he ends up dying. His heart is donated to her and she lives.
Yeah.
And it really pisses me off. He is fine with watching his girlfriend Mai crying in a train station saying that I want you to choose a future with me. And he's going to throw that away and make her sad by dying for this. Sure, you had a crush on her when you were, let's say you were 13 years old. Yeah. I don't care what. You have a 10 out of 10 hottie.
She's famous. Not that that does anything. But
yeah, see, people, I didn't even say I just said 10 out of 10 hottie, and she's so cool.
She's got that bunny pin, too. It's very cute.
I don't get it.
The thing with it is, and what this show did is that scene, so we are now, I mean, you have blazed us towards the end of this movie, which is fine. The movie
There's a lot of
it didn't need to be that long.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It was a little long.
You get to see him visiting her in the hospital every time. It's just to make you build and feel for the characters more, and that's fine. But too bad, not working on me, Marley and me.
Not working on me either.
Not on Marley and me guy. You know what I'm saying? So there is that scene where Mai understands where he's at and that this decision is being put on him to where Shoko is saying, listen, you can just keep doing what you're doing, die, and then give me life. Or if you want to be happy with her, you need to like not meet me here or whatever, and don't get hit by this vehicle and die or whatever. And yeah, they did nail the emotion of losing control in a very scary way, because you see Mai, who's usually calm and collected, and she usually can at least figure out a situation and get what she wants and all this stuff. But at that station, her plan is, let's get you out of here. Let's get you farther and farther away from this city so you won't get hit and whatever. And he just slowly starts saying, no, I can't. And he's talking to everyone in almost like a past sense kind of guy, like, you've always been the best. He's totally giving up, and you see that. It's the writing's on the wall. Well, at the station, she's pleading with him, come on, he won't do it. And you see her just break, and she starts sobbing. And it's like, that feeling was almost a little too real, of like when you really, really want control of a scenario and you think something's going on, but that moment when you realize you have no say in someone else's mind. And it's like, it could be a control freak thing, but like, yeah, there's nothing she can do. So she just breaks down. That was a sad one for me. I didn't like that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it was brutal.
And then the total wrench in the fan.
Are you you're jumping to that? Take it easy, dude. Listen, green beans. Just whenever you're going to spoil something, just think in your head green beans, even if they're the fried kind. So he has a decision to make.
Yes.
And yes, this is in fact the gut-wrenching point in the movie that my jaw dropped, because it's a pretty predictable show. This moment, and I probably could have seen it coming, but I just didn't want to see it coming. My jaw dropped and my mouth was just open so long that it actually started drying out, and I had to take a sip of water. But he ends up, fate walks him right into the scenario where there's a car heading right to him. And what happens, Danielle?
Mai comes, pushes him out of the way, and she gets hit by the car instead. She gets blasted.
And it's not like one of those anime moments then cut to black and, oh my gosh, I can't believe she died. No, they show her laying in the street and blood coming out of her head.
Yeah.
I was devastated, dude.
Yeah, I said, no, this isn't how it ends. They're going to show us this, though. I was more sad about this than the girl dying at the end.
Which, it does sound terrible, but no, if they showed her more in the actual show, maybe I would have felt a little bit more, but she is just basically this thing in the movie. I don't know. But that scene of her getting hit, and then everyone, like her sister comes up, she's like, why didn't you protect her? And
the mom crying in the hospital, and he's standing there, and the mom is just obviously overcome with grief. I was like, I would kill myself.
Yeah. Oh, and this is actually something to mention and no, you wouldn't cut that out.
I would.
No. And something to mention is, from the beginning, he had these 3 scars across his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we end up finding out that his heart is in her, is because he's chasing her one time when she's having a little bit of an episode in the hospital.
Yeah.
And his chest starts hurting again or whatever.
His scars open up when he's near her, because his future heart is like in close proximity with his present heart. It's like this weird time.
I don't know why it's 3. It's like a T-Rex swiped him. I don't know why it looks like that. It should just be a tire mark. That would have been a little bit more of a...
or a headlight.
No, the grill of the car. So then you get more into this multiple universe. So he's living through basically a life without... It's a Christmas Carol. He's living through a life... So, okay, the show's not original at all. I think we can agree there. So after she dies, he's living in this thing of seeing the news reporting on it, all all of the friends being devastated, all this, and he's living a life and he clearly hates it. No shit. I don't know. This is one of the more dumb characters, and not in like the naive Goku, Luffy, all that way, in a bad way. He's a moron. And it's a hard decision to make, though. I'll give him that. But he is also just a cartoon, so I don't have to give him anything. That's at least where I'm at. So he sees that, and then he ends up meeting up with Shoko again. And she's like, oh, actually, I have her heart, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of this timeline. And then sleeping pills, which, okay, this show is the number one salesman of knocking people out via tablets. Ends up going, she's like, listen, you got to go. This is technically the future. This is where they also started getting into too much lingo that isn't necessary. This is actually the future and the present's the past. And this is, shut up. You know what I mean? It's like, we get it, but just whatever. And I know we're in the middle of a podcast. You have something in your teeth.
Oh.
I've been looking at it, and I'm just, it's just reminding me of dinner. I should have told you earlier, but.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know where it is.
I'll point it to you after. You're just going to have to live the rest of the podcast knowing that it's there and I'm looking at it. So Shoko, adult with my heart in, ends up drugging him. He falls back asleep, wakes up on Christmas Eve again as another one of him. So now there's technically two of him. So then he pulls a mind move.
So we're pulling a Hermione Granger moment here.
Yeah, from Harry Potter. The time to okay. This show's not original. We've said it 1,000 times. So
he's invisible. Did you say that? No one can see him.
And so he pulls a first episode on us, and he dresses not as a scantily clad bunny, but a gigantic, horrid mascot bunny. And he's walking around the station to see he needs to find the one person who will notice him.
And that's when the girl from the series pops up. What's her name? I can't remember. Tomo. And she's the blonde girl who fakes having a relationship with Sakuta in the first bit of the series. And they joke that they have the connection because they both kicked each other's butts to make it even on the playground when she thought he was a pedophile. Yeah,
we're going back. We have to, though. But yeah, he's at a playground. Some girl is crying that she lost her mom, and he's just being and you know what? And this is where, listen, all for equality, but we have to admit, men have recessed in this way of you can't just go up and say, oh, hi, to a little kid. Not acceptable now, which is absolute utter. And he sees the problem here is he goes to the playground. She's crying her butt off. I've lost my mom. He goes up to help. Instantly is called a pedophile and is attacked by this girl. And she kicks him right in the butt. And you're like, what? I'm just helping her find her mom. Oh, is that it? Now kick my butt. It's a very weird moment.
Yeah.
Poor guy's just trying to help.
And that ended up being the connection that they had, why he was connected to her time loop.
Yeah.
Anyways, she finds him in the station in the bunny suit, and he ends up having her look for his, this time period self. They ended up getting on a call with each other. He's trying to tell his other self, hey, don't do this because this is the choice we need to make to save Mai because she can't be sad and then die. And he's not listening.
Yeah.
So then he needs to find another way. He goes to Mai to try and get her to stay. She doesn't want to stay. She wants to save him, obviously, because why would you not? This movie had a lot of stuff in it for an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was a bit fluffy. But it was good nevertheless. And
so he ends up asking Mai, please stay. I'm going to need you later today. Just wait for me. And he ends up going to where he knows where he's going to be. And he ends up throwing himself. The bunny suit actually comes in handy because he obviously can't show his other self, him. He has to be hidden.
As far as physics go, that would cause something, probably a black hole. I don't know. They were probably throwing in some mumbo jumbo the whole time. But yeah, so he's wearing that suit and he lays out like NFL Blitz 2001 for the N64. Am I right, boys? Lays it out, pushes himself out of the way. All that matters is I don't care. At this point, I'll be I'll be frank. He could have still died. I don't care. As long as our bunny girl's still, I don't want her sacrificing for this guy who's being all willy-nilly. Okay?
Yeah.
But the day is saved. Well, that's the thing with this movie. The day is saved for our main characters. Unfortunately, no. We end up seeing her later. I was going to say, unfortunately, Shoko ends up, you know that now, okay, well, she's going to die now because she won't get a heart. You then find out that actually everything that was happening was still the future in accordance to everything happening in the movie. So you start getting this collage running backwards of all the events from the show and everything, to then find out that now technically she wouldn't have appeared in his life, but he still ends up meeting, and all the same events happen except for him meeting Shoko. And then they're walking on the beach one day, and she is there with her parents running on the beach. And then he thinks something hits him, and then he gets all these memories back, and then he shouts her name, and then she clearly gets the memories and knows him again. So they still now know each other, but you know that she's going to die still. And
see, but I think she's fine.
Oh, was she fine?
I think so. I took that as something else. She changed her own future in some way.
No, I think she's just now actively okay with thinking about the future. I think she's still got the heart problem.
Oh, you think? Oh, that's probably what really happened.
Yeah, I just think her outlook's a lot better. At the same time, as at that point in the movie, I was just like, I'm ready for this to be over. It was an okay movie.
I was waiting for holding out for Sakuta actually getting something out of my still.
Right.
Waiting for that round 2 satisfaction.
Another cheek pinch. But yeah, overall, I'd give it a watch it. If you like slices of life, it's definitely watch it. I'm not going to say it's one of my favorites. I'm not going to say.
Now that we spoiled it all for you.
Oh, yeah. Why am I doing that pitch? Okay, well, still watch it, I guess. And
watch it in a year when you've forgotten everything we've talked about.
Exactly, and compare it to everything we've said and get your take. But it's definitely not changing the game. It's not
anything new.
Clearly, we've shown every reference for everything. But what is new? I mean, heck, you released something and Simpsons did it.
True. There's nothing new under the sun, as they say.
Nope. Except for nothing. Yeah, nothing. So that's Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. One of the craziest names because, as mentioned in the intro, it's got nothing to do with bunnies.
Except that first episode for 5 seconds.
Yeah, but
we do see it in a little cameo in 1 or 2 other parts, but literally only for 5 seconds.
Yeah. He is a rascal, though, and he gets called a rascal several times. And it's one of those things that someone calls him a rascal, and you just look at the screen and go, like the name. Good show. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. There's a reason why it's got 8.4 on my anime list.
Yeah, it's a ride. There's no doubt about it. And I think if you've made it to this point, hopefully, at least at some point, you maybe were like, maybe you paused in the beginning and you said, let me go take a look at this. But decent. I would already put our new show above this one. In a weird way, though.
Rent a Girlfriend?
Rent a Girlfriend is lovely. I like the show a lot.
I love it. And we thought Mai was Best Girl. We got another new one.
Yeah, I got to like her for all of a week, and then suddenly Rent a Girlfriend happens, and she happened, and and then there's that trash one from that blonde, the short-haired blonde. Hate her to death.
What a biatch.
We'll end up talking Rent a Girlfriend at some point. But that's another one in the books, I think. And thanks for bearing with us with this Tuesday release. And we will hopefully be back to our new microphones and getting things kind of situated once all this chaos is done. Anything else to add?
Nope.
You know what that means. You're done. And I'm done. Danielle, what do we got to do here?
Bye.